Good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever you're watching.
Bedtime.
Could be any time, couldn't it? Could be the middle of the night. If so, welcome. Welcome all you night owls, day birds. What would it be?
Birds.
Birds, just birds. Birds of a feather flock together. Just say anything, Richard, fill the gap. Anyway, welcome.
Do they all flock together? Are birds, do they all flock?
I don't know, but we've not done the introduction yet. So I'm Richard.
I'm Paul.
And this show is called
Sunday Chat.
Ah, yes, welcome. This morning is distinctly cool.
Yes, grey.
Isn't it? Cool, grey. That's why I'm wearing my new
It's some blue. It's some blue.
Don't detract from my cashmere, Paul. That's why I'm wearing my new cashmere neck warmer. Homemade. Yes.
From an old jumper.
From an old jumper. And my cashmere wrist warmers too. Stylish. 80s. Lovely.
Old-fashioned.
The 80s, I'll have you know, Paul, are enjoying somewhat of a resurgence.
Are they?
But you wouldn't know that, not being a follower of all the latest trends and fashions.
No,
and
I certainly
music.
Wouldn't know that.
No. Music is certainly taking a turn for the 80s.
Is that my old pink jumper?
It's not your pink jumper, Paul. This is my old cashmere jumper from Marks and Spencer's.
Wasn't it my cashmere jumper?
It's never been your cashmere jumper.
Have I got a pink one?
You haven't got any cashmere, Paul.
I have.
Yeah, it's a coat.
You could cut that up.
I don't think so. We'll sell it before anything happens to that coat. That's not having a pair of scissors near it. That's an expensive coat.
Yeah, it was very expensive.
Yeah, it's probably moth-eaten now. You've never bloody worn it.
I have. I've worn it twice.
Sell it.
It was a gift I was given, and
Sell it.
yeah,
sell it.
It was. I can't remember what the brand is, the label or whatever.
Well, it's not a Jaeger.
No.
No, it's not a Jaeger
an
because your
Italian
blazer's
brand.
a Jaeger.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on
from that. It was like £1,400. It was ridiculous.
What?
Yeah.
Sell it.
Yeah.
You get 500 quid for that. Anyway, coffee. We're having coffee. Coffee.
Because we've had tea.
We've had tea. We've had breakfast.
What do we have? Oh, we had cereal for breakfast. We had bran flakes. I thought, you know, you get that, or you don't get it, we don't get it. You get that fruit and bran. You know, you get the branded fruit and bran. And it's got sort of a number of sultanas or raisins in it. It's so much cheaper to just buy some sultanas or raisins and some bran flakes and just sprinkle them over the top.
You are so clever, Paul.
Oh no, it
so
is.
Clever.
I then went
you astound me.
I then went and checked the price. It's a ridiculous amount for
a few extra sultanas.
Yeah,
anyway,
ridiculous.
Let's move on, shall we? What have we got in store today?
Fruit and fibre, that's what it is.
Don't give the brand a plug.
No, I'm saying don't buy fruit and fibre. Buy just bran flakes and add your own fruit.
This week has been a little more buoyant, mood-wise. A little more buoyant.
Less flat.
Not as flat. It still had its moments, though. I mean, there's still a load of shit going down in the world.
Oh, huge amount. I
Really?
mean, it's increasing.
So let's move on, shall we? Now.
Yeah, I've forgotten what I was going to say next.
Well, we were going to talk about the weather.
I know we were talking about the weather.
How it's turning out to be a challenging time, growing-wise.
Yeah,
isn't
extremely. I'll do more of that on the June tour, which I'll be doing at some point this week. But the one thing that is possibly encouraging, I'm not sure that's the right word to use, is that a number of the plot holders who grow on our site are having the same challenges. I looked at our artichoke yesterday, our cardoon, in fact, not the artichoke, our cardoon.
They're the same family though, aren't they?
All artichokes are cardoons not all cardoons are artichokes. All artichokes are cardoons. Yeah. But the cardoon was absolutely covered in black fly. I mean...
But we don't eat these things, do we? It's just an ornamental...
Well, we could eat them. We could eat them. We could eat the leaves. We could candy the leaf stems. You could also have them as vegetables.
They can be used as a dye, apparently.
What, leaf stems?
The artichokes.
Well, anything can be used as a dye at the end of the day. What does it do? What colour?
Green, I think.
Well, yeah, you can use lots of other things to do green.
Yeah, but if we're not going to eat them...
No, but we're going to let them flower. I'm not going to let you have those for dye when they can be given to the bees. But yeah, just covered in black fly. And the amount of aphids around, the wind that has been challenging, as we say in Sunday Chat Extra on Planet Vegetaria.
That's Planet Vegetaria, a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017, that's contractual.
It is actually my most challenging growing year.
Really?
Since I started at the community gardens. For a whole host of different reasons, from soil to weather to plants and seeds. Plants not growing, seeds not germinating. But hey ho, we carry on.
But these are the challenges that all growers face.
Yeah, they are. But they seem to be particularly challenging this year.
Yes.
And of course, we had a mild winter in the UK. So that will not have killed off an awful lot of aphids.
Yes, that's true.
I did notice we had ladybirds very early on. I think it was like the 28th of January. I saw my first ladybird of the year.
Where are they now?
Where are they now?
Where are they now?
I think they have gone on holiday. I think they have.
Do you think they were killed off by a frost?
Well, I don't think they would be killed off, and then the aphids and the green fly and the white fly wouldn't be. What I have noticed as well is not as many cabbage white butterflies this year.
I saw one when we were down at the plot the other day.
Yeah, one. You normally see like 3 or 4 flying about at the same time. But yeah, I haven't seen as many butterflies this year. Last year, I think they said there was a profusion of butterflies.
Was there?
So far, I don't think I've seen that many.
I've got a dry eye this morning.
Have you?
Yeah, this eye is dry, just in the corner. I can feel it.
Maybe you need to put some turmeric dye on it. Will that help?
I'm going to ignore that, Paul. It's not very helpful at all. So, challenges in the garden. I mean, maybe it feels worse this year as well.
Well, I did think about that because I'm spending more time at the allotment than I've ever spent before. So I'm thinking things are growing really slowly, but actually, as I'm looking at them every day, maybe I'm not actually noticing the growth.
And maybe there's an expectation because if your intervals were
a few
longer,
days.
You know, maybe you'd notice more growth.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But the flower border bed is looking lovely at the moment.
It is.
I had looked at it yesterday and it's really floriferous.
And I showed it on my mini vlogs as well. Yeah, I did, because we went down the canal for a walk via the plot.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So if you've not already seen my mini vlogs, daily vlogs, go and look. Not now, later. So,
if they want to go and look now, they can look.
Well, you can pause this and go and look at another video if you want.
Yeah.
Yes, it's up to you. It's entirely your prerogative.
And my mini vlogs, a week at the plot, will be up tomorrow.
You can't call them mini vlogs.
Well, they're mini videos.
Mine are the mini vlogs.
Yeah, well, yours are vlogging because you're face to camera. I'm not always face to camera, maybe one video in the week or possibly 2, but most of it is just concentrating on what I've done or what I'm doing. And today is going to be carrot sowing day.
Carrot?
Carrot sowing day. Autumn King. Is it Autumn King?
Yeah.
Yeah, Autumn
That's
King,
normally
isn't
what you
it?
do, isn't it?
Yeah, Autumn King, carrot sowing day. Yeah. Sometimes I just forget the name. I was looking at a different carrot variety called Autumn something the other day, and now I've forgotten what that one was. So, yeah.
Useful.
Yeah, very useful. So if you're looking for another carrot called Autumn something, then just do Autumn something carrot on
How
Google.
lovely. So, Paul, what have we been watching on television this week?
Yeah,
What have we been watching?
We
I've
watched
forgotten.
that film.
Oh, we watched that film. Oh, what was it called? I wrote it down. Did I write it down?
Cohesion. Convergence.
Convergence.
No. Did you write it down?
Coherence.
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 It was good.
It was an interesting...
I thought it was good.
I thought it was an interesting film. It's about some sort of kids
a group
and
of
explorers
people
who go down into a cave system.
No,
What?
that's not the one I was talking about.
Oh, which one were you talking about?
That wasn't No, that wasn't Coherence. That was Time Trap or something that you were watching.
Oh, is it Time Trap? Right.
That's not the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
That was a bag of shite.
Well, no, it was a really good premise.
It was a bag of shite.
But it was a bizarre
crap.
film. But a
It was
really
rubbish.
good premise.
No, the
Trap,
one I
it?
was talking about was the group of people at the dinner party. Having the dinner party.
Oh, yes.
And then
that was a different time one, wasn't
Then
it?
there's a power cut.
No, a comet goes over.
A comet's going over, and then there's a power cut, and all the lights go out, and they look out the window and notice a house in the distance.
Well, no, all the lights are out in the neighbourhood.
I've just said that.
But they notice a house in the distance.
I've just bloody well said that, Paul. God, you're stuck in a time loop. Anyway, go and watch it. It's called Coherence. It's good. It's a good movie. Good ending as well. It is Coherence, isn't it? Yeah. Coherence.
Coherence. Yes, it is. It's yeah.
That's it.
It's
We've
intriguing.
said we've dealt with that.
Yeah.
The other series we have started is Agatha Raisin.
Series 3.
Series 3. Now, I'm finding it a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm.
I don't know about you, but I'm finding it a bit too slapstick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
really? How many times can you fall over and go, ooh?
Yeah. I think the one... Agatha goes into a pub at one point and there's a guy with a spear, and she so obviously walks into the spear so that she can say the line and do the reaction. And I think
it wasn't just that. There was the hat.
Oh no, there was a whole host of things.
And there was the falling over continually.
And then going up the ladder
3 times.
Down.
There were 3 falls for comedy value. And as far as I'm concerned, in a murder mystery stroke comedy, that comedy kind of comes last.
Yeah.
Slapstick should be used minimally in that kind of production.
Yeah. One just hope. It feels to me as though they've all got into their characters and everyone likes the laughs, therefore they're playing for the laughs.
It feels to me that the writing is weak.
I think the direction is weak.
Well, I think both.
Weak.
I think both. So that's a bit disappointing because we quite enjoyed the first 2 series.
We did. It will be interesting to see how the series develops, because that was just the
We will
first
watch
one.
it. We will watch it.
Was it 2 hours as well? It was 2 hours. Were the others 2 hours? I can't remember.
What? 2 hours?
Yeah.
Per episode? What? No, it's not 2 hours.
No, I've just thought they ran it as a 2 hour I'm sure it's 2 hours.
No.
I thought each episode used to be an hour and it was one storyline for 2 episodes.
Well, that's not a 2-hour episode,
no,
is
but
it?
I think this one was actually run as a 2-hour programme rather than 2 1-hour programmes.
Well, that's a mistake in itself, isn't it, really? So anyway, what else have we been...
We've watched...
else?
Well, I mean, Golden Girls, which we've said about before, but there's been a few of the sort of heart strings being tugged episodes that we watched this week.
Yeah.
One with this guy who's got Alzheimer's and...
oh, yeah, that nearly had me in tears.
Yeah, it sort of did have me in tears at the end.
Yeah.
And then another one, and it just goes to show how in comedy you can be so moved through your emotions, as you can in any art form, but it really is quite poignant when something that is regular laughs throughout is comedy.
Well, look,
takes you there.
Look, you know, this is something that takes a long time to learn, but comedy and tragedy can sit together very well.
Absolutely.
You know, and actually, look, if you take things too seriously in life, you know, you're going to spend your time in the depths of sorrow, because life is and can be really crappy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and you have to try your best. Well, I mean, I'm talking about us. One.
You're
right. One has to try one's best to lift oneself out of the doldrums.
Yeah.
No, you do. And I think, I mean, I try to make light of things, even when things are crap. You know, I've not always been like that. But somebody once said to me many, many years ago when I was very young, that joy and pain come from the same place. And I kind of didn't understand that.
Do you understand it now?
Yeah.
What does it mean then?
Well, look, when you have tears of joy and tears of pain, they're very similar. They're very similar. They feel similar. It's a similar reaction. And actually, those tears of pain can flip to tears of happiness or comedy very quickly. You know, I mean, even when Peanut was put to sleep and there on the sofa, and you know, obviously when an animal gets put to sleep, the body relaxes, and she did her final pee.
Yeah, little wee.
On the sofa. And we were able to kind of laugh about that immediately after it, even though we were in the depths of despair about that.
Yeah, we were.
You know, for quite a while. But you have to be able to flip it and giggle and feel that joy as well.
It's very difficult sometimes when things are very dark, because you feel they'll always be dark, but they're hopefully for most people there is that glimmer of light and glimmer of joy that can come out of that darkness.
I'm not talking about people who are in depression.
No.
You know, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know, kind of everyday stuff that happens. Shit happens. People who are in depression, it is a different kettle of fish, you know. And, you know, if any of you are experiencing depression, this is when you need to get medical intervention. You know, medicines exist for chronic depression.
Yeah.
And people misuse the word depression very often. You know, oh, I'm feeling depressed. Well, no, you're probably not. You're just feeling a little low, you know, or sad about something. And I think it's really important to distinguish between those states of being.
I think,
you know, sadness is a normal thing to feel, but chronic depression is kind of not normal. That's why people need to seek help and get professional help, you know, from your GP or your doctor.
But at this time of lockdown, where people haven't been able to see other people, hug other people, be with other people, there's that sort of lowness to people as well, where really it's more of an anxiety that is bubbling under and making one feel not quite right.
It's a mixture of things.
It can be
because
a huge mixture of things.
It's,
yeah.
You know, at the moment you've got everything that's going on in the world. You've got the pandemic, which of course is kind of easing a little bit in places, you know, but you've got all the news that feeds into that, and it's how much you expose yourself to those things. That can greatly affect your mood, you know, and mood fluctuations, I think, during these difficult times are also very normal, you know. But of course we've got to be careful when we normalise those kinds of things, because you do have to...
What do you mean?
You've got to check yourself, haven't you? You've got to say to yourself, has this low mood been persisting for a long time?
Yeah.
And that's what we mean when we say chronic. Chronic means over time. You know, that's the word, that's where it comes from. Chronos, isn't it? Time. So you have to check yourself. And, you know, I would say that if your mood has been low for more than a month, persistent low mood, that's when you need to start thinking about getting some help.
And also,
you know?
Understanding that help is hopefully going to be a short-term thing.
Talking to somebody can very often
absolutely
be the key that unlocks your own mechanisms for flipping that mood around.
For me, it's I will go to the plot, and I'll take my mind away from something that I may be worrying about, and, you know, take the side shoots out of tomatoes, or deadhead calendula, or cut down a branch that I've been meaning to cut down for a while, or, you know, whatever it is. And I think that moment where you can take yourself away from the things that are making you feel lower than normal is really important. Again, one of the issues with lockdown is, even though it's easing, we still don't have that accessibility to be with other people. So like at community gardens, where a lot of people go and they find community gardens a solace, and they find it helps their mental health, they can't do that at the moment because many of those community gardens aren't open, or the services that they would normally provide for maybe 10, 20, 30 people, they can only provide it for, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 people. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to when we can interact more without going out of our way to interact more, if you see what I mean.
I mean, there's also things like, and just staying on that theme of depression, but there's also low-level depression as well, where you are mildly depressed for a very long time. And for some people that can be worse than being in a deep depression for a shorter time, you know, where you're just constant. I mean, we went through a period, didn't we, where we felt low for maybe a good 6 months.
Yeah.
But we were functioning, you know. And we didn't seek help with that, did we? We recognised that it was trigger-based.
Yeah.
So we'd had several triggers that had caused us to go into this low period. And I think if your mindset is that you can recognise those triggers and you can rationalise why you feel low, I think you've got more chance of climbing out and dealing with it yourself. But it's that black hole that people fall into when it's very, very difficult to climb out. And that's when you need to reach for some help.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very
it's a complex
different,
issue.
But it's the same process as when I was looking at my beans and some of the seeds that I'd sown in the ground this year, and I thought, why aren't they growing? There must be a reason, and it turned out that there were two reasons that things weren't growing. But when I was able to think about them and think my way through them, I was then able to find a solution to both of the problems.
But some people can't do that on their own.
No,
and some
you need
people
help.
can't use logic when they feel depressed.
No, exactly, which is why one needs, help. And when I was thinking through, the things, I was doing some research, and I was chatting to a couple of other plot holders from a distance, and just sometimes having that communication channel with somebody helps you think through situations in a better way.
Yes.
And
So, Paul, what are we looking forward to?
Well, we are going to be hiring a car and going on a couple of day trips, which I'm really looking forward to. Because in England now we can travel, and that lockdown is getting a sort of lessened.
We can travel, but we can't stay overnight anywhere.
No, and there's no toilets open either. Generally, I think that's still the case.
Well, we just have to take a bottle.
Yes, take a bottle. Yes, or a nappy. Yes.
Or a tenner man. We could invest in a packet of tenner man.
Oh dear. I did get
Don't start talking about tenner.
I did get an advert on something the other day, which was talking about incontinence pads, and it's because somebody at the plot was asking me about when people get older, about incontinence pads and things. So I think it's when you have moments like that and you come up against an advert talking about incontinence pads that you realise that your phone is listening to you all the time, because I didn't search for it on Google.
Well, it's not just older people.
Well, no, it isn't. But we were talking specifically about this person's mum. That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
So we are looking forward to having a car hire and doing some local... Well, there are some toilets open, actually. Kew Gardens toilets are open.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
So if we go to...
If we're going that way, we could pop into Kew for a wee.
Pop into Kew. I think by the time, if I was desperate for a wee, by the time I'd gone down the back lane, parked the car, got my card out for Kew, paid for the parking, gone through the barriers, I think I'd most likely wet myself before I got to the loo. What
really amazes me is that I've seen these pictures of the parks, some parks in London, and it says things like, don't go here, go home to the toilet. And what amazes me is that apparently people have been going to parks and doing a poo in the park.
Poo?
Doing a poo in the park. I mean, don't people have a rhythm?
Well, I mean...
Who goes to a park needing a poo?
Well, if you need a poo, you need a poo.
Yeah, but who suddenly needs a poo?
Well, occasionally I...
Really?
I mean, not often.
I'm regular as clockwork.
Not often. I mean, I don't think when we've had the car and we've been out. I mean,
I've never
go for a pee.
I've never gone for a poo.
No,
In a public lavatory. It's disgusting. Anyway, let's move on. So that's it for
Have
this
you ever
week's-
been in a public lavatory?
Yes, for a wee, not for a poo. God, I wouldn't even do a poo at work. Oh, no. No.
Oh,
Absolutely
you occasionally
horrendous.
sort out others, though, don't you?
Well, I've had to clean the loo at work,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, on many an occasion.
Yeah.
So that's...
You've got your marigolds.
Yes.
And do they have wrist warmers under there now?
No, certainly not.
No.
Not when cleaning a toilet.
No.
Who wears cashmere if they're cleaning a toilet, Paul? I don't think so.
I'm sure there are some
God.
people who do. Did not Trini, what were they called? Not
I
Trini
don't know.
and Susanna, the two ones who did
Kim and
cleaning.
Aggie.
Kim and Aggie. Did one of them must have walked?
I don't know. I've never watched one of their programmes. How would I know?
I'm sure they were sort of like the two fat ladies of house cleaning, weren't
Yes, probably. We're going now, Paul. That's it. We're saying goodbye.
they? Have we finished our list?
Yeah, we've finished the list.
I think
That's
we've got lots
everything
to chat
done.
about.
No, we certainly have not. So thank you, bloody thank you for joining us this morning, this afternoon, this evening, during the middle of the night. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, whenever.
Morning.
And have a good week. And we'll see you during the week for more mini vlogs daily on Planet Vegetaria. And for Paul's gardening little vlogs.
They're not mini vlogs.
You're not allowed mini vlogs. I've trademarked it.
Mini vlogs.
Mine, all mine. So take care. Toodle pip. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, bloody thank you. Watch all the adverts.
Adverts.
Bye.
Are you putting adverts in this one?
I'm putting adverts every 5 minutes.
Oh,
Just to annoy
fantastic.
everybody. Not really.
Actually, it would be really interesting to know, if you do watch the adverts, what adverts do you get?
Oh, can we just clarify something before we go? The adverts you get are targeted at you.
Yes, they're not
They're
from
not.
us.
We don't choose the adverts. So we don't say, oh, I'm going to put a tenor lady advert on here because we've been talking about... It doesn't work like that.
No.
The adverts are sorted out separately to us. We just say where we want the adverts to go. We have no say in the type of adverts you get. So the adverts are about you and your browsing history,
Yeah.
not ours.
Yeah.
So bye for now.
But do let us know what adverts you get, because I'm intrigued.
Bye.
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 Bananas. Bye.